tonight, what's this, the 13th of September, Freeholder meeting. This was a pip. I mean, this is the one, this was actually segueing from the last public speaking when I started accusing the top prosecutor officers of malfeasance, or alleged malfeasance, let's say. And Sullivan actually overshouted me last time. I guess, did you record it? Yeah, you did. But anyway, so here I was, and I actually did ask him. I gave him a shot if he wanted to apologize, you know, because he was wrong. He violated my rights the first time a couple years ago, and he violated my rights again. But I asked him to apologize. He just sat there.
Why did the ACLU to make him apologize?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I sent an email to the ACLU. I haven't heard back from him yet, but maybe I'll call him. But it's just amazing. The guy's a complete idiot. He won't apologize. You know, I called him an idiot. Everybody got up.
So did I get the ACLU to make him?
Yeah, everybody got all their panties in one shot at the Freeholder board. But anyway,
I don't even know they're wearing panties.
I don't know. You know, hopefully they are.
Stick to the facts. The facts as we know them.
What's the facts? Sullivan overshouted me. I was talking about Al Cernadas Jr. as the first assistant prosecutor, and Sullivan started saying that the New York investigators' report was actually about Al Cernadas Sr. However, they did implicate Al Cernadas Jr. in the report. However, they didn't do anything about it, only because they were looking at the Waterfront Commission, not the ancillary players such as Al Cernadas Jr. So anyway, so at least this time I was able to talk about it. They had to shut up only because they were wrong, and I called Sullivan an idiot about it. So, but they let him, you know, they let me go on, and Al Cernadas Jr. was actually sitting there, and I asked him, I said, come up here. You know, and I'm sure John will show you the vignette of it, but I said, if it's wrong, come up here and defend yourself, and nothing. I mean, you know, we catch them bald-faced lying all the time. So that was it. They're idiots. Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. I just want to start off to see if Freeholder Sullivan wants to apologize for his ill-conceived notion and his shouting over me. Give it a second or two. Freeholder Sullivan. All right, I figured as much, only because he didn't apologize when he actually violated my rights. He's too scared to apologize. The guy, but anyway, but basically all this is really proven from the last meeting is that Freeholder Sullivan is an idiot. That he has no idea. Prove me wrong. That's not. Prove me wrong. I was bringing up selective prosecution, possible corruption at the top of the prosecutor's department. I'm glad these two people are here. Now, they probably heard about that. You know, with the allegations that I played. Freeholder Sullivan, I tried to bring in a second point. Freeholder Sullivan outshouted me, which was amazing, and he was totally wrong. But when was he ever right? I don't think I ever seen him right anyway, and that's why I call him an idiot. I mean, it's just fact. Let me just read what I was. Let me read what I was trying to talk about. Al Cernadas Jr. Mr. Marabella. Freeholder Sullivan. Al Cernadas Jr. He's sitting right here. Maybe he can confirm whether he's junior or senior Freeholder Sullivan. And this is the problem we have. And let me just tell you what, let me go back to that 720 ordinance where you have this DNA grant for great DNA lab results that possibly you can find in cold cases, which is great. But as Tina Renna mentioned, serious doubts when it's in the wrong hand. And we already see that there's only selective prosecution coming from Romangow's department. So in the wrong hands, I mean, we may see selective choices on the DNA also. I mean, we bring Matt Gabriel over from California. I'm sure we all read about the California newspapers talking about the baggage that he brings here. So, I mean, right now, you know, everything's always questionable. Everything you do is questionable. But this one's stated here, and I tried to bring it up last time, about Al Cernadas Jr. Cernadas Jr. initially stated that this is from the Office of the New York State Inspectors General, Waterfront Commission plagued by abuse and corruption. Al Cernadas Jr., although he wasn't a primary player, he's mentioned many times as a secondary. Is that correct, Freeholder Sullivan?
Mr. Pastor, I don't know why you feel this is important to me.
Because I mentioned Deputy McCabe was brought on board to try to address problems at the prosecutor's office in the best public interest. This is why I was speaking last time. I told you that. I'm telling it to you again. Something needs to be done. Not just the prosecutor's office. I mean, that's got plenty of problems, but also all of the other elements of this Union County government. But I'm just going to read this. It initially stated that he had only discussed general reporting requirements with Deutsch. Once confronted with telephone records, Sinatus Jr. admitted to commission investigators that he told Deutsch at dinner that members of the Waterfront Commission were looking for his uncle. So he was lying until they produced records that proved otherwise.
This is not something that's appropriate.
This is our prosecutor's office. This is our prosecutor's office. The Commission General Counsel, by providing non-public Commission information to assist Albert Sinatus Jr. regarding Sinatus family members under investigation for an altercation in a bar. There's abuse of power. He's going around finding this secret information that's not supposed to be out there for personal gain. Deutsch admitted that he knew that Sinatus Jr. was making a personal request to find out information about his uncle. Politano informed Deutsch of the cause of the Commission's investigation, and Deutsch immediately relayed the information to Sinatus Jr. Underhanded. We're talking underhanded. We're talking about high-ranking personnel in the prosecutor's department that is abusing his power, that is lying, that is violating the public trust. I'm glad he's here because I hope he's outraged and wants to come up here and set the record straight.
That's some fantasy in your mind, Mr. Patterson.
No, it's fantasy in the New York Inspector General's mind because he wrote the report. I see, this is why I call you guys stupid all the time, because you don't even understand what's going on. All you're doing is sitting up there, Charlotte DeFilippo, Ray Lesniak is telling you what to do.
You must be getting close to election time because I can see your...
Gentlemen, I keep seeing this gentleman. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
I hope Romanco and Sinatus is outraged and comes up here to set the record straight. I hope they do. I would like to hear that. Thank you. Yeah, where's the Republican candidate? Are they here?
Excuse me? You're so disrespectful to the public.
Really?
And then you want us to respect you, you want us to respect the Union County Prosecutor's Office, when we know cash went missing at Music Fest. We know funds were misappropriated. We know no one was held accountable. We know something else happened involving a freeholder's son. It's going on for 7 months to no conclusion. You're spending $31 million to buy stuff, like the stuff that went missing a few months ago. And you're telling us you don't know what went missing, you don't put barcodes on anything, you don't do any internal audits for this equipment. And you want to sit there in total contempt of the public. But you know what? People like me, Bruce, the other citizens here, we're the only people doing our jobs, and we're not on payroll. Our job is to hold government accountable. Your job is to keep the public's trust, and you have failed that. You have failed it and failed it and failed it again. And the prosecutor should be upset with you people. He should be furious with George Devaney. He should be furious with Deborah Scanlon and whoever else is behind the scenes putting a hold on all of this. You're embarrassing him. I'm not. I'm just pointing out the truth, and that's my job to do.
Okay.
So again, I'm asking you, what went missing? What is missing? What are you searching for that you can't find for over 7 months? You're going to study Runnels, whether to close it. You're going to do an entire assessment of this county facility in 60 days. And by the way, that's baloney. This report's just going to, you're paying $60,000 to somebody to tell you what they want you to hear, to give you some excuse to do whatever it is you already know what you're going to do. Yet you're telling me you don't know what's missing, and you're spending $31 million to buy more stuff, and you don't know what you're missing already. You hold no one accountable. You disrespect the prosecutor's office. You do that.
Okay.
I just remind people that you're doing it. You do that. You're all political hacks. The citizens, we're just citizens. We're patriots. You, the prosecutor's office, you're political hacks. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I stood here tonight. I not only asked about that equipment, which I didn't get an answer to, I asked you why George Devaney recused himself from any dealings with Birdsall, who you gave money to tonight. No answer. I got no answer from you. That's disrespectful. That's total contempt for the public. You couldn't treat a client that way in business.
Maybe they're too stupid.
Well, Bruce used the word stupid. I use it contemptible and corrupt. I use words like that.
Okay.
But you are unintelligent. You wouldn't allow yourselves to be puppets. You wouldn't be sitting there if you were intelligent. You'd have something better to do with your lives. Be more productive and better citizens.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Grant.